listening to Chasing Adventure with Harry, a podcast globetrotting with Nat Geo TV host Harry Yuan. Get a glimpse behind the scenes and underneath the surface of the people, places, and experiences you won't find on TV. This is Chasing Adventure with Harry.
So, welcome to the show, everybody. Today's guest, one of my just all-time legends in society, but also my mother. I felt it was appropriate to have my mom as my first guest because, well, she's my mom. And I mean, my mom is what I would call a legend. It's very difficult to have the name of legend. And I think that you qualify as a legend. You were in the very first Kung Fu martial arts movie. Before that, it was opera. So all the Kung Fu movies that we see today are based off of that film that you did. And then you've had an amazing career in the entertainment world. And all this, and you managed to have 4 kids somewhere in there. So today, I'm going to talk to you. 我要跟你聊天, okay? 聊天 means like just shoot the shit.
Yeah.
Shoot the shit. So today, I'm shooting the shit with my mom. And yeah, tell me.
Can I say something?
Sure.
I'm so glad I in your recording
Podcast.
Mm-hmm. It's a first guest. You know, you are my favorite. And you're so handsome and so talented. I'm so glad to have you. See, the whole times we just say something good about you and me, then finish.
That's true. That's kind of what a podcast is. But we're going to talk not just about 好的东西. Okay, we're not only going to talk about good things.
Okay.
I mean, my job as the host is to make sure that everybody understands what we're talking about. And there are other person in the room, basically. And this show is basically following the adventures of people. And you have had an adventurous life.
I'm so lucky because, you know, sometimes in your life, you need to wait for a chance, then catch so much moment. I want to catch the things just happen. I have the chance. So I think I'm lucky.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, let's back up. So your first breakthrough film. What is your first breakthrough film?
I think you're talking about Come Dream With Me.
Sure, but I don't even know. That's not your first film? That's not your first breakthrough film?
No. Actually, I did some Huang Mei Diao singing opera in the very beginning film.
And how did you get into singing opera?
Only because I'm tall, handsome.
Pretty.
No, because I'm a man.
You played a man before in opera.
Yeah, because in Chinese opera always have a man to play a woman. Have a woman play a man. I'm tall, so that's why they chose me.
But how did you even do that? How did that happen? I mean, I'm thinking about this. You know, I'm 32 now. I mean, when did you start in the film industry?
17.
17?
Yeah. I'm start very early.
Right.
32, I already have Masha.
Yeah, right. You already had one kid.
No, not only one kid.
Third kid. Right, so you already had your third kid at that point. So I guess my question to you is, how did you decide you were going to start acting?
That's actually because I immigrated to Hong Kong. I can't speak Cantonese very well. So it's very difficult to communicate with the people. All the Chinese in Hong Kong, they spoke Cantonese, which is not my language. For the 16, 17 kids, of course, looking for friends. Then I saw a play that's called Southern 南国实验剧团. It's under Shaw Brother.
Okay.
They both have Cantonese and Mandarin. So I figured out they might have some people who speak my language can be my friend. So that's why I get into 南国石原剧团.
So you were just doing it to make friends?
Yeah. And also because I had already have some ballet training. So it's very easy make the people look up at me. I did several performances.
How many years of ballet did you do?
Oh, since I was 8.
Since you were 8, you were doing
Yeah. I would do ballet when I was in Shanghai, then continue to Hong Kong. I'm still learning.
Wow. And then you went off to Japan to even continue your dance.
Yeah. That's shop brother sent me there to have a training. Well, actually, I know myself cannot be ballerina because I'm too tall. I cannot find a partner, right? Or the Chinese guy, it's very short. No one can catch me. That's why I'm very lucky to have changed my career to movie actress.
So before you were on your way to being a ballet dancer.
Yeah.
And then you decided.
I thought I would be ballet dancers when I was 8, I think, because I see ballet is very graceful, very pretty, and don't need to talk. Because when I was little, I can't talk anything. I don't want to talk. I think ballet is suit me very well because not talking then can make people think my feeling.
So you were expressing through movement.
Yeah.
It's interesting. But then now.
That you don't know, huh?
No, I don't know. But then now you're not talking. You're not moving anymore. It's all talking.
All talking.
Okay, so in your youth, you only did movement, action.
Action movie. Yeah. Because my dance background, so King Wu, my teacher, my sifu, it's your Xigong, who saw my performance in the stage doing some dance number called 牛郎织女. Then I'm still a man, but he thought it's he's thinking of a Saw woman should have a calf like a tomboy. So he thinks for all those girls, it's too, I can't say girls are sissy, huh? But
Too feminine.
Too feminine. That's right.
Yeah, so you were the less feminine.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because later on you became one of People's Magazine's most beautiful women in the world.
Oh, that's not a woman. Maybe they think it's tomboy is the beautiful woman.
So what I think a lot of people don't realize, even fans don't realize, is that you're actually not, in fact, a martial artist.
No.
You're a dancer.
I'm a dancer.
And I mean, I think you told me this.
Of course, during the shooting, doing all the martial art movie shooting,
You had to train.
I learned.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I didn't train for martial art.
Yeah, you weren't a martial artist that
No.
became an actress. You were a dancer that became an actress.
Yeah.
And so, and then you got revealed as the queen of Chinese sword kung fu. And that kind of set you on a path, right? So then what happened? Why did you decide to settle down and have kids?
Oh, by that time, that age of the good woman, thinking marriage is big things.
How old were you?
I'm only 23, but still thinking if 23 not married, no man wants you.
Wow. I mean, that's what everyone said back then, right?
Yeah.
So at that time, you went with what society said for you.
Not only society, my personality, thinking that's most important thing. Because Soul Woman's it's a kind of rule, it's to want to kill people.
Oh, you're the character you played.
Yeah. But for the normal life, I'm still content the same.
So you were more angry.
Angry.
So when you were younger, you were
Very
more
tough.
angry and very tough.
Yeah. It's Actually, it's one of directors say, I'm very difficult to find man to marry me. That's why when your Baba comes, I think that's settled. That's the ending of story. To me, marriage just the end of the story.
End of the story. But your story just began.
It just began.
It just
I
began.
never know. Just began. I always think, woman, 23, they marry and have a family, have kids, then it's an ending.
Right.
Happy marriage, right?
Right.
It's an ending.
Happily ever after.
Yeah.
That's what they feed to everybody.
Yeah.
That's what they tell everybody, right? It's so interesting that they tell everybody that,
But it's wrong.
it's not that easy that all you do is
Yeah.
get married and then happily ever after.
Especially when you get married, those age you're very young. You don't understand how you can be a good housewife, good mother, and I think a kind of lose.
Kind of lose?
Yeah, you don't know what to do, right?
You felt lost.
Feel lost.
So
Yeah.
after you got married, you started feeling lost because here you are.
Yeah.
This woman who was a famous Chinese actress.
Yeah.
I mean, at that time, when did it come out that you were People's Magazine's 100 Most Beautiful Women in the World?
68.
68, right?
Yeah.
So in the 68, you were declared this beautiful icon, and then you get married. When did you get married?
69.
And then,
I still go back to finish the movie, finish the contract, then come back.
and what was going on in your mind at that time? Like, obviously you had a love for making movies, even at that age. And for the people that have followed you, they realize that you still love making movies, otherwise you wouldn't be doing it. You're
Yeah.
still making movies even today at 72.
Going to be 72.
Oh yeah, soon.
I should
72.
remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that times, actually, I don't think it's so difficult be a housewife, be a mother. You know, I can do everything, right? I can be a good actress, good sister, good daughter. It's easy for me to be a good wife,
Wife. Oh.
but I don't know, it's so difficult. Because marriage has come to two person, right? The only people can judge you is your husband. My husband never think I'm a good enough, but I'm not. So difficult to try to be good for all the marriage. I think I'm trying to be good wife, good housewife, listen to my husband, everything. Until now, I still think it's very difficult be a good mother. I think I'm trying to be a good mother because I got 4 chances. It's 4 people to give me the opinion I'm good or not, right? I failed 1, I still have another 3. And also, what I think it's being a good mother, it's learning, not like be a good wife. It's just follow. It's good to be learned from the kids. That's what I think.
So I think people can allude to the fact that things didn't work out in your marriage, and I feel like you also had a career aspiration.
Yeah. It's easy for me to have a career than have a marriage.
So 23-year-old,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
got married,
Yeah.
decided to have kids.
Uh-huh.
At what point did you decide, I want to go back and do movies? Or what? Not necessarily movies. I mean, what was that like? I mean, I was so young, it was very difficult for me to actually
Understand.
So tell me about, like, you had your own production company
Yeah.
in your marriage.
Yes. But I did everything fail. Finally, I find what I still can do is being an actress. I always can use myself, the body.
And change and become somebody else.
Yeah.
Cool. So you had a cooking show when I was a kid called Pei Pei's Kitchen. You had a talk show, Pei Pei's Time.
Yeah.
And you had a production company.
Yeah. I have too much things.
Is that where I get it from?
Yeah. Because I don't think I will lose. I think I can do anything I want. That's why you can do anything. I think you have a good way to learn. Of course, you learn from my fail. And also you learn all the production things. And we learn together for something good or bad.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing for me, I feel like life is an adventure. And adventures don't happen without failure. I tell people all the time that with every success comes so many failures. You really can't succeed without failing. I think it's impossible. So if you talk about your failures, and I don't actually think you actually failed. I feel like you just learned.
Yeah. From the fail, you learn. So that's why don't scare those fail because you learn it. It's a difficult way to learn it, but you really can learn something. That's what I think.
So let's see here. You had all these shows. I mean, how long was Pei Pei's Time on and Pei Pei's Kitchen?
Oh, Pei Pei's Time, it's 3-4 years.
Okay. So I mean, you did a talk show for 4 years.
For Pei Pei's Kitchen, I do 500 Lilting key dishes.
500 dishes.
Yeah.
You know, when for the Chinese people that were out there during that time when you were doing cooking, now cooking shows are huge.
Yeah.
You were just before the time of.
Yeah. I'm too ahead of time.
Yeah. You were definitely ahead of your time, Mom. So you did that. How old were you when you went back to Hong Kong to pursue acting in movies again?
40 something.
And what did they say to you then?
They say, no way you can do any good from now on. But I remember for the very beginning, I went to Singapore. I tried because I have a very best friend, Zhao Zhao and Ken Susu there. Then I'm thinking if Singapore can have me as an actress in their TV show, then probably I can survive. At very beginning, I only thinking of survive because it's difficult for 40-some years old woman can be success again in the show business. So they don't want me.
Wow. So how long did you try? How long did it take before your next breakthrough? Because you were a success when you were younger, and then you took a break, had kids, and then you went back after a divorce. And how long did it take before?
Actually, it's not long. When you catch one good movie with Stephen Chow, Gong Li, what's that called? 唐伯虎点秋香.
Yeah.
But that
I don't know how
time,
to translate that one into English.
Because every Chinese people watch that show. Until now, they're still watching.
Yeah, it's still on TV.
Still on TV.
I was in China, and it was still on TV. How crazy is that?
Yeah. So easy for an actress. Once you catch a good show, good opportunity.
But that's timing.
That's timing.
That's timing. And that's patience. How long did it take you, though? I mean, it still was a couple years.
Because that movie wasn't success at the beginning. So that's why it took me so long. If once that success like today, I don't think it take me that long. But take me at least 5-10 years. I have a Crouching Tiger. That really helps me to have my career back. But
so 10 years was really when you felt like your career was back.
Yeah. But in the 10 years, I still have job.
Yeah.
But I keep telling myself, no matter it's good or bad, you should take it. So I always tell the youngest, you always not refuse any chance. You never know which one is yours.
Wow.
Yeah. Of course, in that times, because I need to support Marsha, especially Marsha, tuition. So I had a DJ show, radio show.
You had a radio show.
Yeah.
Oh, much
Radio
like this
show.
podcast here.
Yeah. I had the radio show. It's 5 times a week, every night, 10 to 12. But I'm still shooting.
So you're pulling doubles.
Yeah, from Beijing to Hong Kong, you never can think those days how I go through. Because I do the same thing, what you did now, have the recorder
Yeah, but you had a studio.
next to me.
Oh, no, you just recorded.
I just recorded. Then recorded 2 weeks things, material. Then have 1 or 2 days do 20-hour show in the studio.
Wow. So you were busy.
I'm very busy. I make myself very busy. And also I write newspaper. Everything, every single thing can make money. I do it.
And I mean, at that time, I remember you weren't exactly living. I think oftentimes when people think of actors and actresses, they think that their lifestyle is this glamorous lifestyle. But I knew back then you did not have a glamorous lifestyle at all. You had a very simple lifestyle.
Yeah, I live in the temple.
Because after you got divorced,
Yeah.
you started really diving deep into Buddhism.
Yes.
And one of those things was to be minimalistic.
It's really helped me. Not only thinking, also for the life. My master, called Cheng Yuan master, he let me to stay with it, his temple in Hong Kong. So I shooting the same time I live with the monk. So, well, I think that's life. I really think people will be very interesting how to live like me. So I wrote a book when I'm 70 in Chinese.
But you wrote a book before that, too.
Oh.
This is not the first book you wrote.
No, I not the first book. But come to 70, I think you should have a conclusion for yourself. So that book's my conclusion of my life.
Wow. So your last book is your conclusion of your life. Are
Yeah.
you going to ever translate that to English?
I wish Jennifer can help me.
I think you're going to
She's
need more than just
busy.
Jennifer to help you.
Yeah, I think if anybody listen to your radio can help me to translate.
I'm sure we can find somebody to translate your book for you, Mommy. Okay, so you've lived a very interesting life, a different life than most people have lived. So writing a book was a great idea. At 72, really at 70, you had another breakthrough kind of U.S. movie that came out. And I think, not U.S., but European movie.
Yeah, that's not 72.
That was
actually 68.
68.
Yeah.
Okay. But it came out.
Lilting.
Yeah. Came out when you were 69?
68, 69.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that nominated you in the
Best actress. It's called British. It's a
BAFTA. It's the British Independent Film Award for
Yeah.
Best Achievement.
yeah,
For Best Actress, rather.
yeah,
And I mean, I think for you to be in your late 60s at that time,
yeah,
and now 72, to still have this nomination,
yeah.
it's as if your star rose a second time, or third time, or fourth time. I don't know. How many times has it risen?
I think I'm very lucky. I'm still think I'm very lucky. So you're waiting for chance, right? Once you catch it, you cannot let that go that easy. You're working very hard.
Yeah. And I mean, you worked very, very hard.
Yeah. I work very hard because I love movie.
Yeah.
That gives me life. Movie gives me not only one life, several life, dozen maybe. Because when you play a different role, you're a different life.
So you got to
My
play
life.
many lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. How many movies have you done?
I don't know. Now I'm not counting. When I was in Shaw Brothers before 23 years old, I tried to count it. They're easy to count. Now it's difficult. If you once in China, you can see all the television is playing my movie.
So I mean, the Western audience, which this is in English, so the Western audience is who we're targeting here on this particular podcast. My podcast is kind of bridging the gap between East and West of many instances for people.
I wish everybody can see my another one.
Oh, Meditation Park. Yeah, I just got to see that movie.
Yeah.
That's a new movie that my mom just did called Meditation Park. It takes place in Vancouver, and it's a really good coming of age kind of film that really just talks about a very specific group of women who kind of moved with their significant other to a country that they didn't know the language, and they ended up relying off of them and doing everything that they, their reality relies on their husband. And there's things that happen that basically make it so that people just, life isn't what you expect it to be.
Yeah.
And I think that's really what the film is about. It's a spectacular film.
It was in Toronto.
Yeah, Toronto Film Festival, Vancouver Film Festival.
Now it's going to Indian
Film Festival. Wow.
Yeah, next month.
Yeah, and then for those of you that haven't watched it, it will be debuting in theaters worldwide March 6th. Which is actually my sister's birthday. March 6th of 2018.
Yeah.
So there's something for people to look forward to. Your amazing work as an actress. And it was funny. Someone had said something to me and they were like, oh yeah, she's such an amazing woman. And I was like, yeah, she survived a cultural revolution and immigrated to 2 different countries and then had kids and the entertainment industry. That's not going to happen again. It's a very specific kind of mentality. It's a very specific life that you have lived. Obviously, no one person's life is the same, but this is a very interesting, different track that you've been on, right? And because of that, you've kind of become you. You are Cheng Pei Pei. There really can only be one Cheng Pei Pei. And kind of this lifestyle, I think what I see that a lot of people don't see, a lot of fans may or may not see, is how calm, how patient, and how just good, like all around good you are as a person. I think that's so easy because if you follow the dumb magazines and all that other stuff, of course everybody thinks they're good, right? But as your son, I think I maybe have ever seen you lose your temper 2 times in my life. 2 times. That's it. 2 times. I've only ever seen you mad twice in my life. And both of those times were justifiable. It was our bad. You have every right to be mad. But it's just something so interesting because, I always think, okay, if I start to get mad, I'm like, okay, what would my mom do? Okay, she'd be nice. She'd be and over the years, I think my own fieriness, my own anger, my own need to be mad. Not to say I don't get mad, it still definitely happens. But I think you've always told me to calm down. You've always told me to live my life and see the good in people. And because of your optimism, because of your teachings, I think it has influenced my life so much, which is why I wanted you to be my first guest on the show, was because this is from that side. I mean, we're talking multiple famous people that you've met over the years and you've worked with. I mean, you worked with Jackie Chan before Jackie Chan was Jackie Chan.
Yeah, right? That's right.
you were supposed to work with Bruce Lee, didn't get a chance to work with Bruce Lee, but you guys were friends. You've worked with Stephen Chow, obviously. You've worked with famous directors, An Li.
Yeah. 周润发.
Chow Yun-fat. Oh, yes, of course.
Yeah.
Chow Yun-fat. I mean, these are big actors in Asia that, you know, the Western world doesn't even know yet. They don't even, it's a slow process to integrate these Western and Asian cultures together. What do you think about the world now? Like, it's changed a lot since you were a kid, since you migrated over, since everything. You've been able to see so much of the world change. What do you think people can do to continue, you know, to better the world?
It's quite difficult. You only thing you can think is, don't say people always do that. Okay, let's say for show people, they always play around, smoking, drinking. But you don't say, then you look at yourself. If you want to be a good person, you still could. So no matter the world change how much, you should always know what you should be.
I think you're basically kind of saying the world is always going to change. It's always going to be different. No matter what bad things are happening in the world, you are the one who has the opportunity, the ability to be positive about it. And I think that's what you're trying to address, right?
Yeah, that's right.
That's
That's more important.
Yeah.
Most important.
Because no matter what is happening, the most important thing is to be positive.
So you should remember, always be positive. Okay? You'll be very good.
Thank you, Mommy. So one more question, and we're gonna wrap up here. We have a cooking show that we're working on right now.
You teach me, I teach you. That's exactly between mother and son.
That's right. It is in Mandarin, so for those of you watching, you are gonna have to watch the subtitles. But my mom teaches me a traditional Chinese dish, or a dish that she cooked from her 500 dishes that she cooked with back in the day when she was a cooking show host.
Yeah.
Before our cooking show hosts, I mean, you know, there was Julia Child at that time period, but then there, you know, it kind of wavered a little bit, but it was not nearly as popular as it is now. And you taught a generation of Chinese people how to cook easier for their families, right?
Yeah, because everybody don't have time to cook. So how easy you can cook.
Yeah.
So I can cook, you can cook.
Right. And our premise of our show is slightly different. Although my mom does create very simple dishes, which are great, I go in and do what I call a fusion style, a California fusion style of what she's making. So we generally make the same dish, but we make the same dish differently. So you get to see the simplified version and a more complicated version. Not always that much more complicated, but in general, my style of cooking is slightly more labor intensive.
Because I'm vegetarian.
Right.
My life is very simple.
Right.
Yeah, but not supposed everybody live like me.
Right. So because of that, we don't only do vegetarian dishes, right?
Yeah.
So we do both vegetarian and non-vegetarian dishes, but because you are a vegetarian, we do vegetarian dishes quite every single episode.
Yeah.
So we hope everyone will watch that show and tune into that.
They can tell my son is good cook.
And thank you for coming on to the podcast, because ultimately this podcast is about people that fail and still manage to succeed. I mean, the podcast is mainly tracking through people's adventures, and I think you've qualified for probably one of the most adventurous people I know.
Oh, okay.
No, you don't think you're adventurous?
Yes, but I think you still can find a lot.
Oh, of course. There's going to be more people that have amazing lives and amazing adventures in their lives and have had many failures and successes in their life. So I thank you for coming onto the show. Hopefully you come on again, and we hope everybody else enjoys this episode.
You've been listening to Chasing Adventure with Harry, a podcast globetrotting with Nat Geo TV host Harry Yuan. You can connect with Harry on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook with the handle @Harry H. Yuan. That's YUAN. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast on Apple Podcast, Google Play, Spotify, and Stitcher.